Hello, this is episode 10 of Peer Inward. It is Friday, March 27th, 2020, although I'm wearing glasses, and I'm sure you are too, right, Derek Uwe, who's joining me
I
on this night?
I am joining you this night, and I am also wearing glasses.
Okay,
Aha.
well, we're in the wrong year with this vision. Okay, so what do you want to start off with? The Nintendo Direct or the Epic Games publishing announcement?
I think Nintendo Direct will eat up a lot of our time, so let's start out with Epic.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, let me just pull it up. No Viagra right now. All right. Epic Games will completely fund upcoming projects from studios behind The Last Guardian, Control, and Inside. The next step in Epic Games' Pro Developer Initiative has been revealed in the form of a multi-platform publishing partnership with 3 independent studios: Gen Design, Playdead, and Remedy Entertainment. The arrangement is stipulated on 3 major pillars: full creative freedom and ownership. Developers retain 100% of all intellectual property and full creative control of their work. Fully funded projects. Epic Games Publishing will cover up to 100% of development costs, from developer salaries to go-to-market expenses such as QA, localization, marketing, and all publishing costs. That sounds kind of redundant. Marketing expenses such as marketing? 50, this is a quote, so that's not me. 50/50 profit sharing. Developers earn a fair share of their work. Once costs are recouped, developers earn at least 50% of all profits. While the news post did not go into further details, developer Remedy Entertainment, known for Max Payne and Control, stated on Twitter that its agreement with Epic Games will include its next 2 titles. Playdead and Gen Design also echoed the announcement on Twitter. These are all big name studios. I mean, they're all indie studios, but they're big name studios.
They're big in their own pond. I don't really know the studios themselves, but I do know the games they put. So,
If you remember or if you've heard, The Last Guardian from Gen Design was actually supposed to come out on PS3. And the reason why it's a PS4 game is because it was in development hell for so long that it even crossed generations. And the head of the studio, Team Eco, I think his name is Fumito Ueda. He left. I think there was a falling out. He left and he founded his own studio, Gen Design, independent studio. And then Playdead, people who made Limbo and Inside. One of the co-founders actually left and made his own studio. I forgot what it was called. It was something like Somerset, or maybe that was a game title. And then Remedy, known for Max Payne 1 and 2, Control, most recently, a bunch of really narrative-focused games like Alan Wake, Quantum Break. Yeah, so these are big games, and should be noted that they're working with Epic, but it's a multi-platform publishing deal. So it's probably going to be exclusive on PC to the Epic Game Store, which I know a lot of people are going to be throwing a tantrum about. But when it comes to consoles, they're presumably going to be on consoles. Yeah, what do you think about it?
well, the agreement they have agreed on. It's redundant.
Sounds
uh,
agreeable.
it looks pretty good. I mean, I don't know what the regular contract is for these sort of deals, but this one seems pretty, I don't know, like optimistic, pretty nice.
Yeah,
Both sides seem to profit from it, so.
and I was actually looking at a lot of comments because this was posted yesterday. The
Mhm.
news was revealed yesterday, and I don't really understand why so many people hate on Epic. People, if you replaced every instance of Epic Games with the name Valve, I bet you the comments would be different. All of these things, they would be saying, "Oh, that's so awesome that Valve is doing this," but even though this is great for developers, giving them freedom and letting them own what they make, it's really good, but still people are for some I feel like it's a bandwagon kinda thing. Have you heard of all this hate for Epic?
Yeah, I think my one of my friends is actually on that bandwagon.
Oh. Well, they have their own reasons, but I a lot of the reasons I disagree with.
Mm. My friend's reason was that the site the game launcher gave him a virus or
Oh,
something.
really?
Yeah, that was one of his main reasons he stays away from it. It's possible they could have fixed it later on, but
He wasn't looking at porn?
uh, I never really questioned that hard about it.
Yeah,
But
I think I
yeah,
heard about that actually.
yeah, that was his main reason.
And I think there is some controversy because they also had their customer information leaked.
Ooh,
I might be remembering that incorrectly. But yeah, I've heard other reasons which were not because of accidents, but
mhm,
just for the way that they go about things, and I disagree with a lot of them. Some people are just upset that on PC they're only on Epic Game Store, or that the Epic Game Store experience compared to the Steam store experience is more bare bones, which is true. But at the end of the day, or back in the day when you had a fucking Nintendo 64, you were just putting in a game and playing it. I feel like
yeah.
as long as the game runs and as long as it's not giving you any viruses or you're not looking at porn, then it works.
Back in the day when there was no updates to games and you had to, like if it was broken, it was broken.
Yeah. Or in the case of, remember Metroid Other M, the little story behind that? You had to send in your SD card to Nintendo so that they could send it back to you with a patch that would let you get through a part of the game that was bugged.
Jesus. Thank God for online updates.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I really like this. So let's say a game takes 3 years for one of these studios to make. They're gonna be completely funded. It says publishing will cover up to 100%. So I'm assuming if they want to have it fully covered, they can. And they might not want to have it fully covered because it says below that once costs are recouped, that they'll start seeing profits from it. But I like it because those 3 years that they're making the game, they don't have to worry about anything. All they have to focus on is creating, not surviving. And I feel like if that's all you have to focus on, then that would make a game better.
Yeah.
So we'll see what games are announced. It's interesting that Remedy, as I wrote here, Remedy is in it for 2 games. I'm wondering why they chose 2. Were they given an option to only choose 1? Because what if they end up not liking the experience with Epic? Or maybe they're really hurting and they're desperate?
Really? I thought Control was okay.
Well, you know Man of Medan?
No.
It's the same studio that made Until Dawn.
Oh, okay.
They made another game that's basically Until Dawn, but it's just a different title. And let's see. Control Game NPD. All right. So for August 2019, all right, Control came out August 27th. Man of Medan came out August 30th. And I'm looking at the section that says NPD Software Top 20. All right, you have Man of Medan coming out at the end of the month at number 19 for best-selling games of August, and nowhere in there do you see Control.
Huh.
You got the Nintendo games, which are obviously gonna sell more. You got Grand Theft Auto, Minecraft, the sports games. You have Astral Chain selling more than Control. You have well, basically, you have this fucking Mad of Medan selling more than Control, which came out after Control, and Control is not even charting.
Huh.
So it must have done extremely poorly to not even sell more than Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which came out, what was it, 2017 or 2018? So I'm not surprised that they're doing this deal, but it's interesting that they signed on for 2 games. I wonder if they choose to, if they can if they can change it to 1 game. But it's nice that they have the cushion to fall back
True.
on. So that's all I have to say about it. Do you have anything else for it?
No, it just seems the deal is pretty generous. I want to kind of compare it to a regular deal between, just a standard deal between a publisher, a mainstream publisher, and a company. But this one just seems generous to my rookie eye.
Well, we don't really know. I don't think it's been really made public what the deals are between publishers and developers, be it a first party situation like Naughty Dog working for Sony. I mean, I know that Naughty Dog doesn't own anything they make because they're a first party studio, but in this case, anything they make, anything Remedy makes, they're going to own it. And I don't really know the split in revenue as well with any other publishers. I don't think they really make it public. But I do know that when a publisher puts a game on something like Steam, I think that Steam takes something like 18%. And then I think on consoles, be it Xbox, PS4, or Switch, I think they take 30%. The respective companies, like Sony will take 30% of an Assassin's Creed game when someone buys it. And then so the 70%, the question is how much goes to the publisher and how much goes to the developer, if any at all, or if they're just royalties. I don't know. Moving on, we have the Nintendo Direct Mini, which was which was just shadow dropped on March 26th. Usually, when there's a Nintendo Direct, there's an announcement, maybe 1 or 2 days before. But I think this is the first time that there's ever been a surprise Direct.
Hmm.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I was able to get a glimpse
Okay,
or watch the whole thing. Not really a glimpse. Don't know why I said that.
a big glimpse. I wrote on here the games that both interested me and that I thought were significant. Or interested me and or I thought were significant. So first up is Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. Comes out, they got a release date for May 29th, which is, I don't know what month the original came out, but the original came out in 2010, I think. And it's going to come with an epilogue called Future Connected. And if you want to pay, I think $80, it'll come with a 250-page hardcover art book.
Oh, jeez.
Have you played Xenoblade Chronicles?
I have not, nor do I know what gameplay is. Well, I did watch the direct, so I kind of understand what gameplay is, but nope.
Oh, I could have sworn you did. I
No,
think that game was really rare.
you
So,
just saw me pick the character from Smash. That's all.
uh, I know my friend DeAndre, he really likes Xenoblade Chronicles. But
Ah,
so it was a Wii game, and I think it was really rare for some reason. So when you wanted to buy it and I think it might have only been a GameStop exclusive, I'm not sure. But when you wanted to buy it, the price was marked up at a certain point, I think. I'd have to research it. But is this interesting to you?
well, it did look interesting.
I couldn't help but laugh though at the trailer because there's so many times when he was going, or the dude will say, "No, Shulk, it'll kill you." Or he goes,
Yeah,
"Ah!" And then there was a scene where it looked like he was just killing himself by jumping off a cliff.
yeah, I was like, "Wait, in order to get this shot, did he just jump off, man?"
It doesn't even look like it was, just the animation of him jumping off the cliff. It was like you fell through a level.
Yeah, like, I'm like, "This does not look like a natural way to switch areas. Did he just for the sake of a clip, did he just kill himself?"
My friend was telling me about it, and it's basically at the beginning, there were 2, I think it was Bionis and Mechonis, these 2
Yeah,
giants fighting. So basically, the world you're traveling in is the body of either both or one of them.
that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I wonder if we could get to the groin area for if you wanna go to the strip club.
That's where all the viruses and diseases are.
Did I write this correctly? May 29th? Well, I have here May 29th, but that's weird because what we're talking about next is a bunch of 2K games coming out on May 29th. And they are BioShock the Collection, which includes the 3 BioShock games as well as DLC. I think it includes the DLC. I would be surprised if it didn't. Borderlands Legendary Collection, which is different from the Handsome Jack Collection, because the Handsome Jack Collection, I think at least when it first launched, it didn't come with Borderlands 1, but this one does.
Wait, what? Dude, Handsome Jack didn't come with Borderlands 1?
Handsome Jack Collection only came with two of the Borderlands games. It was
Is
Borderlands.
Handsome Jack the is the Handsome Jack collection the one with the golden mask on the cover?
Yeah.
Oh, I bought that. I'm pretty sure Borderlands wasn't it? I could be wrong. Uh,
The cover, it says includes Borderlands pre-sequel and Borderlands 2.
okay, then I'm just imagining it wrong. My bad.
Yeah, it was weird that it didn't come with Borderlands 1, but this one's gonna come with 1 if you wanna play it. It's
Nope.
gonna have motion controls. It's gonna be cool to
What?
have Borderlands on Switch.
Motion controls?
Yeah, because you
For
could split the Joy-Con apart. You know how
yeah, but I mean, like, what would you be motioning?
you were playing a first-person shooter on Wii,
Okay.
or tilt controls, like it's actually really useful in Breath of the Wild because when you're aiming your bow, you use the stick to aim in the general direction, and then when you tilt the controller, even with the Pro controller, it doesn't have to just be the Joy-Cons. When you tilt the controller, it adjusts the aim, but in a very minute detail. So it's really good for precision aiming. If you try it out, I think you'll think it'll feel really good in how accurate it is. And then they also have it in Splatoon 2, and I've heard good things about how it works in Splatoon.
That's an interesting function. I can see the merit in that. I remember a couple of times where you can over push the stick if you wanna get, like, for small details, so yeah. Okay.
And then the XCOM 2 collection, which comes with 4 pieces of DLC and an expansion pack. But yeah, those are 3 solid games from 2K. Although it's weird that they're all coming out on the same day. I feel like they're gonna cannibalize each other because they would like if you bought all 3, but I feel like most people are just gonna buy 1. And then by the time they have enough money to buy another one, um, I mean, because games, they make most of their sales on within the first week or 2 weeks. And so by the time they have money to buy one of the other ones, there might be something else that grabs their attention.
Very true.
Have you played all of these?
I've played BioShock Infinite, I've played Borderland 1, a little bit of Borderland 2, a little bit of Borderlands pre-sequel. Uh, I've tried XCOM, but I couldn't get a handle on the difficulty.
Yeah, there are some things that are up to chance in XCOM. There's a GIF I saw. I might be making this up, but a GIF I saw on Reddit where this dude he had his fucking gun right up to a fucking enemy's face, and then he missed because I think it said something like chance of hitting was, I don't know, let's say 85%, and then he missed.
It happens. That's one of the things that frustrates veteran players about the game and why people reload saves. Like, if it says 85%, 90%, there's still that 10%, and sometimes it just happens.
They should take that out. It'd be nice if they designed it to where if it looks like it's gonna hit in real life, then it's gonna fucking hit. They should just no, I mean, they should just change it to 100 is what I'm saying in some cases.
Yeah.
Cause who the fuck's gonna miss point blank?
I remember my friend, he had a character who had a grenade launcher and, like, had an 89% chance and missed a group of 3 enemies. It was kinda funny hearing him, right?
Who actually likes that? And what
Well,
the fuck's going on with the person who designed that?
it's still a fun tactical shooter. It does make gameplay intense when you do end up losing team members, and it's just really strategic. And, yeah, my friend has fun putting our names in it. I was the grenadier that missed, actually, that's why.
Oh, you didn't have your glasses?
I don't know what he looked like, I just remember he had my name.
I saw a mod where people put in Spartans from Halo.
Oh, it's pretty dope.
And then next up is Shinsekai Into the Depths from Capcom, which comes out, was actually announced at available at the time of the direct. And I first saw it as part of Apple Arcade's service. So it was
Mhm,
on smartphones first, but if you wanted to, you could connect a PS4, you could connect a Bluetooth controller. I haven't played it myself, but it's described, I've seen it described as a Metroidvania. And have you seen footage of it?
mhm.
Yeah, it's just underwater exploration. You got meters to keep track of. Yeah, it looks fun, but 1999, I would wait for a sale because I am interested in playing it. Any thoughts on it?
Hmm, it looked interesting, but, yeah, it just looked interesting to me. The only thing that really stuck to me was that you can customize the music.
Oh, that little bonus feature.
Yeah.
Next up, there's Good Job, published by Nintendo as well, out today already. And it's 1 to 2 player puzzle game. Reminds me of Human Fall Flat, where you're just even the art style as well, except for it's not third person view, it's a top down isometric. And you're just tasked with doing some stuff around a work office, and you can do it without causing too much damage, or you could just wreak havoc to get your objective done. It looks really funny. I watched a small playthrough of it earlier today, I think. I want to get that too.
Yeah, this one made me laugh. This one I'm really interested in. I can imagine there being challenges for being like, get the most amount of damage in this level, or don't touch a single thing besides the objective, or something like that. And I'd be totally down for doing either of those.
Kind of like Burnout.
Yeah, it's just I just love the fact that you can just break through walls, and I laughed my ass off when I saw him like slingshotting like a battery or a projector through a wall with a bunch of slingshots.
I saw that during the gameplay, I saw that all the havoc the person was wreaking, it didn't even seem like the NPCs were phased by it.
Well, it kind of makes sense. It's like, oh, he's at it again. Who? The boss's son. Oh, there goes the wall. There goes the cooler. Crap, that's my coat.
Yeah, and then if you pull the cord, so that little slingshot thing is actually just the power cord because you can
Oh.
pull the cord out of the wall and then plug it into, let's say you're trying to open a door. To open some doors, you have to pull a cord out from somewhere and then plug it next to that door, and then it'll power the door to open. But you have to bring the cord from one room sometimes to a different room. So you'll be zigzagging this thing, and then if you actually let go of it, it'll slingshot back like a measuring tape and just cause damage all over the place.
Just a fun puzzler. I really would like to get my hands on it.
Me too. And then Catherine Full Body on July 7th. This one's interesting because the PC actually got Catherine, but it was just Catherine Classic, which is different from Catherine Full Body. And Catherine Full Body actually has another character and I think a time attack mode or for multiplayer. And this one's interesting because we have Persona 5 Scramble that's coming out on Switch. I don't think it's out yet, but it's gonna come out if it's not. No shit. And so we have Catherine Full Body as well. So Sega slash Atlas, they're definitely interested in the Switch. I just don't know why Persona 5 proper isn't on yet. Maybe there's some sort of deal with Sony.
Yeah, that's true.
Ring Fit Adventure as well, which is really interesting. They updated it with basically a rhythm game in the vein of, Guitar Hero or DDR. And I think it includes 17 songs. Oh yeah, I wrote it here. 17 tracks from Super Mario Odyssey, Splatoon 2, and Breath of the Wild. Looks really fun. And then somewhere in the middle of this direct, they revealed the franchise that the new Smash Brothers character is going to be from. It's going to be an ARMS character. No one gives a fuck about ARMS, but it's going to be interesting to see an ARMS character in the game as a Smash character. Because I feel like the idea of an ARMS character would fit into Smash. Extending arms. I bet you the recovery is going to be a tether, kind of like Samus's throw. I bet you the grab is going to be a tether grab as well. Some long shit. It's probably going to be a lot of ending lag on the attacks because I'm assuming a lot of the attacks are going to be long reaching.
Gotta balance them out somehow.
Coming in June. The reveal and then the character itself will be coming in June. Who was the last one? Oh, it was that Fire Emblem character. I can't remember when that character came out, but by the time this comes out, it'll probably be at least 3 months. So June, July, August, September, October. I was thinking earlier today, if this comes out in June and then they wait a few more months for the next character, that might coincide with the release of the Xbox Series X, which is the day that Halo Infinite is going to come out. And that would be cool if they included Master Chief as the character after the ARMS character sometime during the holiday, to act as some cross marketing.
That'd be pretty cool. Do you think you would play like Snake?
No, well, similar, but I don't think he'd be as fucking annoying. Snake is this weird fool. Snake is weird. This military man in the Smash game, which is actually what Master Chief is as well, but I just think standing next to Samus, I bet you if he is announced, his reveal trailer is gonna include Samus.
True. They're both sci-fi protagonists.
I used to think it was a fucking very low possibility that Master Chief would be included. I used to think it was low possibility. It was ridiculous, the idea of him joining. But I mean, we've got Cuphead, we got Ori and the Blind Forest on Switch, and we have Banjo in Smash. So he's my most wanted character.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool to see what his moves would be.
Yeah, what do you think they would be?
Well, I think the energy sword's got to have to be one of them. Either a smash or, yeah, pretty sure a smash. Either gravity hammer or an energy sword would have to be one of those.
So he's gonna be taking out shit and then putting him back in his imaginary pocket.
Probably like putting behind him. Or yeah,
Well, Ganon's smash attack is a sword. So he only has his sword out when he does a smash attack, and then after that he puts it away.
then you have to have the plasma grenades, maybe a Spartan laser. I
Oh, yeah, I feel like a plasma grenade has to be one of his specials. You stick someone with it,
yeah. I don't know, there's, like, a lot of things they did with Master Chief, like, especially in Halo 3. Remember there was, like, the shield grenade, there's the
or the abilities in Halo Reach.
yeah. I don't know, but you didn't even include Master Chief stuff in Halo Reach?
Well,
It'd be
some of
kinda cool, though,
the
if you changed his skin, it'd be a different Spartan.
yeah, that would be a no-brainer. I guarantee you they would do that if he were a character.
I can already tell what his, you know, when, like, his Super Smash thing would be?
Final Smash?
Yeah. It'd
What?
probably be a vehicle.
What, he just flips a vehicle onto you?
Like a warthog. Like a
An upside down warthog appears and then he throws it at you? Yeah, the Final Smash, it would be I that would be harder for me to imagine, but his general moveset, I feel like would be easy. It would fit into a Smash game. I would wonder though if they would make him I think with Mega Man, when you just press A, he shoots out pellets. So, it's not even his special attack, I think, because I don't think Mega Man has an actual jab. He actually just shoots out. So I wonder if Master Chief were to be included, if he would have a gun at all times, or if he
probably.
would be a melee character and his guns would just be the specials.
Oh, yeah. It could just be that. He switches guns for every one of his attacks, like, regular attack would be an assault rifle, you know, the classic.
Oh yeah, you gotta have the assault rifle. That would
Yeah,
probably just be his regular B, no, neutral
yeah.
B.
And then there'd also be the shotgun and, or maybe they go for more of the alien stuff, like the plasma rifle and the needler, and or what if that's the down B? What if he changes, guns and abilities from alien to normal?
Dude, holy shit. You know how okay, dude, you know how some characters have a gimmick? Like a
Mhm.
hero? Or Little Mac, his fucking meter? I know what gimmick you could give Master Chief. You could give him his shield, and then as long as he has his shield, attacks won't hurt him.
Ooh.
So, it's not gonna be a too strong of a shield, because then he would be kind of overpowered.
Projectiles won't do him damage if he had a shield.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it blocks melee attacks too, right, in the game?
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, like, you know what I mean though, right? Like, projectiles don't do as much damage as a regular A or
Yeah, and you just have his shield meter at the bottom, and then it regenerates if he's not hit after a while. That would be really cool. Yeah, I like thinking about how Master Chief would be in the game. What would his up B be?
he takes out a rocket launcher, does a rocket jump.
That would be hella meta. I imagine it would just be a jetpack.
Oh, wouldn't the shield fit into that? If he had, like, a full shield, he wouldn't take damage from his own up B.
Oh yeah. Or his up B is a jetpack, but then his other special is a grenade or rocket launcher, and he could recover with the jetpack or the rocket launcher. Or I know Snake, his up smash is a grenade launcher. So maybe some of Master Chief's smash attacks could be a weapon as well. Yeah, what the hell are we talking about? Oh yeah, arms. Do you have anything else to say about arms or Smash or Master Chief? Anything else?
I think we've covered it.
And then next we have Bravely Default 2, which has a release window of 2020, no release date so far. Published by Nintendo. But then I was looking up the past games, Bravely Default, and then this fucking stupid title, Bravely Second End Layer. Those were published by Square Enix in Japan, and then published by Nintendo everywhere else. I'm not usually into JRPGs, but I really like the look of this. The way that they look like toys when they're walking in the overworld, and just the general combat looks good to me as well. The Brave and Default mechanics. Did you check this game out?
Yeah, I looked at it a little bit.
I downloaded the demo as well. I haven't
Oh,
played it though. For Square Enix's other games like Octopath Traveler and Dragon Quest XI, when you played the demo, your progress would carry over to the game. So I wonder if they're doing the same with this one. I just have to play it to find out.
I guess it depends on the demo.
So you're not that interested in this one?
In terms of turn-based games, I'm not really all that hyped. Persona's an exception, but that's mainly because of the city life.
Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics. Also published by Nintendo, coming out on June 5th. And this game looks really cool, mainly because of the presentation of everything. It looks really clean, looks really inspired by Wii Party. Or at first he was showing some regular old board games or card games like Solitaire or Mancala, and then he started getting into fucking tabletop sports and then tanks. They look really fun. 40
Yeah,
bucks.
worth it. I mean, you get 51 games for $40.
That's $1.30 per game. Not that bad.
Mhm.
So this direct, it was a surprise direct, so there's not really any expectations you could have. But they did note at the beginning that some of the release dates for these might get pushed due to the whole coronavirus. Yeah, so there we have the Nintendo Direct. You can go first in sharing what you've been up to.
Okay. Some of the games I've been playing has been, Water Tastes Like Wine, and I recently bought Skyrim, the special edition.
I like Skyrim. I love the soundtrack, dude. Agree with me.
I do agree with you. It's pretty memorable.
That soundtrack is top notch. Yeah, what do you think about it? Came out in 2011. So an old game. So what do you think?
I like it. It's just a learning curve I have to get used to. Plus, I also the first Elder Scrolls game I played was Oblivion, and that had, like, a difficulty curve I could never really grasp, in the way that I couldn't get used to the enemies or I couldn't progress as nicely as I wanted to.
Because of the gameplay combat or the leveling design?
Leveling design. Every time you level up in Oblivion, the enemies scale with you, as to always give you a challenge. And it was very slow and very meticulous in how you had to level up your character. In Skyrim, it's much more easier and much more condensed than what I had to go through in Oblivion. So I'm having fun. I just need to get used to it. Because originally I was in Fallout, and the way the skills worked is every time you level up, you get to put those points into the skills that you wanted, as balanced and specialized as you want. But in Skyrim, you actually have to do the skill multiple times in order to get a point, or find a trainer that would teach you for a certain amount of money.
What do you think of that?
Well, like I said, I knew this process from Oblivion. It was just more difficult in Oblivion, but in Skyrim, it's easier because I'm ranking up points easier. Not to mention, in the beginning of the game, you get to go to a Guardian Stone that lets you focus on growing your skills. Is look with a 20% boost, so that helps a lot.
Can you change what you're boosting?
Yes, you can go from thief skills, mage skills, and warrior skills. I'm focusing on a one-armed or not one-handed. Still wrong. It's still a warrior build with who focuses on one-handed weapons and a shield.
That's what I did. I feel like that's what most people would do.
I don't really try to focus on magic. I don't like magic.
I did some of the magic for healing.
Same.
It's so cool that you
I,
can just heal yourself without using potions.
it's hard to do in combat though. Have you been able to pull off healing during combat?
Well, on PC, there's a mod where you can assign different loadouts. So in the middle of a fight, I can be fighting, and then when I'm damaged enough, I could press at the the press of a button, I could instantly switch to double-handed healing and put on a mage robe and then start healing,
Uh,
and then switch back with another press of a button to my warrior clothing and sword and shield. But I think PS4 has mods too.
it is, but it disables trophies.
Uh,
And I kind of want to go through the game first time vanilla. But yeah, I also do the same thing. I have restoration as one of my magics. I just find it hard. I find it like in the lull between battles. If the enemy's far enough, I try to use it. But I have a lot of favorite potions and magic stuff.
yeah, you can favorite too, right?
Yeah, that helps a lot. Yeah, so Skyrim's, yeah, it's a bit more easier than Oblivion. So I'm been having more fun and getting farther than I did before.
What do you think of it in relation to Fallout?
I prefer Fallout. I do admit that Skyrim has its charm and is more fun and a lot more. I guess a lot more. The world feels more interactive with than in Fallout because you can find veins for mining like randomly in dungeons or in the side of a mountain. You can chop wood at a wood stump. You can hunt. You can fish. You can. Yeah, it just feels like a more interactable world with than in Fallout where it's just a wasteland and you just most of the time when you see something it's mostly just decoration or just for the sake of placement.
Even more than Fallout 4?
Yeah,
Oh, 'cause that game is newer.
it's newer, but they focused in a bad direction. But yeah, so I'm still loyal to Fallout. I still prefer the system, but Skyrim is fun. I've been I did kind of want to drop it the first time I died.
What? After
But
one death?
it was a very hard death. But I came back on.
Was it the fucking giant? Have you seen videos of the giant slamming you with a club and then you
Yeah, and you
fly?
go in the air. It happened to me. But that wasn't the death. That was just a learning thing that just went like, okay, avoid the giant at all fucking costs. But it was just a regular dungeon, and I got pretty far, and then I ended up dying, and I was like, oh, damn it, I didn't save.
Are you saving a shitload?
Yeah, that did teach me to save a shitload. And after talking to my friend, I did learn that the difficulty is spikes in random places if you're not prepared. So
You can change the difficulty.
it's not a matter of easy, normal, or hard. It's a matter of you're not supposed to be there yet. Because there was a immediately after that conversation, and I went back to Skyrim, I went into a dungeon where every enemy before the boss was easy pickings, then the boss was a goddamn train wreck. Like he summons an ice giant, and then there's a freaking mage behind that keeps summoning death shit. And the guy was also a freaking ghost that does cuts my health in half.
You know, I think I actually had a huge issue with that same fight. That sounds familiar.
I'm definitely not supposed to be here yet because I was doing damage, but it was like one tick, and he was doing half ticks for me. I was like, I can't do this. So go back, go to a different dungeon. I just realized like all the dungeons around him were easy. They were manageable. It was just that one spot that I was. It just made sense. The difficulty is in discovery. It's not planned or something.
Yeah, that's weird. But maybe he has a resistance to whatever you were using, if that
Well, he's
exists.
a ghost. It's possible that
A ghost? You're trying to kill a ghost?
yeah, I think he was a ghost. He was all sparkly or see through. I don't know. And since I'm a like a fighter, it's probably that it's also that I'm a fighter. I can't. I'm pretty sure normal attacks don't work that well on ghosts.
Have you seen that fucking video of of a dude who's sucking a ghost's dick in front of his mom?
What? I did not see that. You're gonna send me that video?
So how far are you into the game? Are you gonna keep playing it?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep playing it. I'm probably gonna do the whole strategy I did with Fallout. Do all the side shit first, and then progress to the main quest.
Do you have a partner?
Yeah, the first one, Lydia.
Have you fucked with her? In a cave, there's this little door trap where if you step on this thing on the ground, then this fucking gate will come swinging.
I know what you're talking about. She's fucked with me with that so many goddamn times. I hate how your freaking companions can trigger traps because she has messed with me so many goddamn times. Like, I remember looking down in a cave and I was like really close to the edge. She comes up behind me and almost pushes me off.
Oh, she can move you?
She can move me. I was jumping and looking for goddamn in the I was looking in the sky and jumping like a crazy maniac, like, Lydia, you motherfucking. She can be a pain in the ass, but she's useful. Either as to get aggro from the enemies or just to carry the heavy shit. I also kind of find it funny that when you ask her to carry shit for you, she just goes like, I am sworn to carry your burdens.
That game is old as hell. It's almost 10 years, it's almost 9 years old.
Still pretty fun, and the world's really is addictive.
Can't wait to see how the next Elder Scrolls will look on the new consoles. I'm sure it'll be buggy. So what next do you have?
Oh, the water tastes like wine. An interesting concept. Just a game chock full of stories and short stories. But I don't know. It can hold my interest that long. I don't really hate that much about the game, except maybe I think it's like the weird money system and the sleep and health system. Like you're basically a drifter, going from place to place, gathering stories from what you experience and from what you hear. And it's just eventually you get tired from all your wandering, and you have to pay money to get to like buy a coffee or something to refill your rest energy. And you get them randomly throughout the world. The thing is, the money thing can only be filled twice. You can never have an overabundance of money. You can't stack up on things, which discourages you from exploring for long term, like long periods of time. So you have to like keep going back and forth between spots in order to. It's weird. Like the game discourages you from long stretches of walking and forces you to. I don't know. It's weird. I like the stories. Some of them are heartwarming. Some of them are scary. Some of them are mysterious, funny, that kind of thing. I just don't like the system where you interact with the other storytellers. There's people around the world, certain people that you exchange the stories with in order to learn more about them and their main story. When they tell you what story that they want you to hear, they're just so vague and sometimes misleading. Like you tell them a funny story and they acknowledge that it's a funny story, but they're like weirdly dismissive and that's not what they want. But the stories are fun. It's just something I don't find myself playing a long trek of. Oh, another thing is when you discover a story, the depending on your choices, it changes what it can become. If you choose the bad option, or not really the bad option, the option to avoid fear or danger, it becomes a tragedy, like an adventuring story that just happened and you couldn't do anything about it. If you try to interfere, it could still sometimes end up a tragedy, but most of the time it ends up becoming a traveler story in which you experienced whatever the you were interfering with. Most of the time, I kept finding the same genre over and over again, which was kind of annoying because you're supposed to be collecting a varied collection of stories, and I kept hitting the same genre constantly on one road.
Are you trying to write a book?
The way let's see, the game starts by you losing a card game to a magical wolf, and the wolf asks you to collect stories to pay off your debt or whatever. So that's basically all you're trying to do. You're trying to collect stories for him, or collect certain stories, the stories from the people that I was telling you about. The one who has the main story, the one you have to exchange stories for. That's the main point of the game.
Do you have an avatar?
Yeah, you're a skeleton.
A human skeleton?
Correct. It is a very weird game. Interesting, but it's just something I don't find myself playing long stretches of.
So you're not gonna play it again? Because I see you have here that it's dropped in parentheses.
Yeah, I would like to pick it up, but I'm playing Skyrim now, and that game's got me hooked. Which sucks because the soundtrack was really fun. It was a nice soundtrack. It was, like, country. Guitar and yeah, guitar and yodeling. It was a nice soundtrack to walk to. I mean, the whole point is you drifting, and there's even an option to hitchhike and hop a train, that kinda thing. And to go faster, you have to whistle, which is kinda like a rhythm game.
I heard something about that game where the guy, I think, I don't know how many people worked on it, but let's just assume it was one guy. He risked so much to make the game, and then it ended up not it basically ended up a flop.
Oh,
And I think I seem to remember him just being really upset that it wasn't a success.
that sucks. By no fault, it's not a bad game, it's just one that didn't have me really glued to it.
So let me talk about Animal Crossing, and then after that, you can talk about what you're watching, and then after that, I can talk about what I've been watching. I want to try alternating so that we both just take turns. Yeah, I've been playing Animal Crossing New Horizons since the day it came out. My island, I named it Muir, Muir. Named it after Muir Woods, Muir Beach, which are two places that Bree and I really like. Yeah, the I heard in reviews that the game has a really slow start, and that is very true, unless you're changing your system clock and time traveling. But
Really?
yeah, the game has a really slow start. Start out in a tent. There are only two villagers on your island. You don't get So there are some parts of the island, no matter which layout you choose, there are gonna be parts of the island that are elevated, and you can't get to them. Well, there are gonna be parts of the island that are split by a river, and you can't cross the river until you get the vaulting pole, and then you don't get that until maybe day 3. You can't get it immediately, and same with the ladder to get to higher places, you can't get that immediately. And same with the museum, you don't get that immediately. There is Everything's just in a very slow trickle, which I think actually fits Animal Crossing, considering that it's tied to the real world time. And I mean, it's not like a movie where a movie's an hour and a half long, and then there's so many things that happen over the course of, years or months, just things that are over an hour and a half. Animal Crossing is tied to the real world time, so, when the store closes at 10 PM, you gotta find something else to do. Which there's a ton of stuff to do. So I find myself when I wake up chopping each tree, not actually chopping it down, but hitting the trees to get wood from them, hitting the rocks to get minerals from them, iron nuggets. I find myself digging up the fossils and then bringing them to Blathers and checking out what the hot item of the day is at the shop. Because if you sell them a hot item, then you get, I think, double money for it.
Hmm.
There's a lot of improvements or a lot of little new features. Some big features, like you can put your furniture on the island itself. You can terraform the island, which I have been playing since March 19th, and I have not unlocked the ability to terraform the island yet. But the game is really so fucking for me. And I played with Bree a few times too online. What I did one time was I was the one chopping the wood for her trees, and then she was just picking them up after I chopped them, so it would be faster. That was pretty fun, even though it's not really fun. It's just nice and a rote thing to do. But there are some limitations when you're playing online. For example, you can't put furniture down onto the island if there's someone over. You can put
Huh.
things in your house, but not if someone's inside of your house. And you can't move things. You can't move furniture that's on your island. You basically can't change the island. I mean, you could chop down trees. I think you can plant stuff, but you can't really change the furniture.
I think they did that to prevent trolling. Because I think multiple people can be in your island, right? Like,
I don't think that's the reason because there's actually a feature in the game called best friends. And if you have someone set as your best friend, then they can chop down trees. But if you don't have someone set as your best friend, not just trees, but that's an example. If you're not someone's best friend, and if you try to chop down the tree, nothing happens.
oh, okay.
The only thing I can think that it is it's a if it were to happen, it would slow the game down because every patch of weed or every hole that's dug up or everything that's buried under the ground is saved onto the island. That's why sometimes when I'm chopping a tree, my character will look like he's bringing his arms back, getting ready to swing, and he'll keep it in that position for maybe 2 seconds because there's some sort of lag.
Huh.
It doesn't just let me chop it and just show myself as lagging to her, or if you know what I mean. There are some limitations, like she won't be able to progress through the game if someone's over. If you're trying to talk to Tom Nook about building the museum, you can't do that if you're doing multiplayer. But aside from that, you know what Animal Crossing is. It's basically Animal Crossing souped up. It's really fun.
Cool. Can't wait to see what you make.
Yep. Oh yeah, so today I spent most of my time setting up a flower bed because you know how a chessboard is laid out? It has the black squares and then the white squares. If you lay out your flowers in that fashion, then there's a chance that they will make a new flower that's a hybrid flower.
Ooh, you can cross pollinate.
Yeah, they call it crossbreeding.
That's pretty dope.
And there's also this thing you could look up. For example, if you put a white rose diagonal to a red rose, there's a chance that a pink rose will appear.
How crazy can you make this? Can you make like a rainbow flower?
No, there are only maybe each flower type has a different number of new colors you can make, and they only go from maybe 3 to 6, 3 to 5 or
Uh,
6. It's not that deep. Well, I mean, not that customizable. But I've been doing that, and then I've been rearranging all of my trees. The cool thing about this is you can actually dig up a tree, put it in your pocket, and then move it somewhere else.
oh,
But to dig up a tree, you have to eat a fruit. You can eat a fruit, and then there is this gauge that'll go up. You can have up to, it's an energy bar basically, and you can have up to 10 increments of the bar. And each time you dig up a tree, it uses up one of your energy. So fruit actually has a use now.
can you increase the energy bar by anything else?
I don't know. I haven't seen anything, and I haven't really. The only thing I've really looked up online is what colors you could get for the flowers.
Because I remember when in my old Animal Crossing, there was a thing where you can buy coffee at night in the museum.
That pigeon looking guy.
I just thought it was always fun and have what he talked about. So I don't know, maybe that I just thought that'd be kind of fun if you can get a lot of energy from drinking coffee from.
Oh yeah, yeah. That would be. I don't even know if the cafe is in the game. There's a lot of stuff that I don't know about it because I've been. This is the first Animal Crossing where I'm not time traveling and where I'm not looking up everything. The only thing I've looked up were the flowers and then what I just looked up about 5 minutes ago. I don't know if you could do this in past games, but you can upgrade your inventory capacity, which is cool.
Mm,
Oh, and the museum looks really nice. I think you've seen the direct already.
yeah, museum looks dope.
Yeah. After this, I'm actually gonna play some more. All right. So, want to talk about your anime that you've been watching?
Just one. Uh, I recently finished two anime. I only talk about one of them. The other one wasn't that memorable, but this one was kind of fun. It's called "Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken."
What's that? Keep your hands off.
Eizouken.
Is that a name?
I don't know. I think it is.
Okay.
It's an anime about 3 girls in high school making an anime. Do you know the Devil May Cry? Or not Devil May Cry. I mean, do you know about, Devil Crybaby?
Devilman?
Yeah, Devilman.
Yeah, I watched the 90s one. The animation in that was really good.
Yeah, the person who animated that animated this.
Oh, really?
I think that's right.
Because the art style is really different. Devilman.
How right am I or how wrong am I? This is the game today.
Well, the anime was a long ass time ago.
But I really like this anime. It's the anime centers around 3 girls trying to make an anime just to have fun. And the animation is, I think it's pretty clean. I don't know if people complain about it, but I like the animation so far. It's clean, it's funny.
Keep your hands off what?
Eizouken.
Oh, it
E-I-Z
auto completed. Eizouken.
Eizouken. My bad. I only know English.
This looks like a different art style, but that did came out in 87, so who knows? Might just be a new style from the artist. All right, so 3 girls. How long is it?
It's 12 episodes. I don't know, it's just fun. And I also really like the opening soundtrack. I like the soundtrack, I like the animation, I like the story. I was a big fan of Bakuman back in the day.
Is that the one that's like Beyblade?
No, not Bakugan, Bakuman. It's an anime about 2 guys making a manga. It goes through the whole process of going through an editor, the lows and highs of what they do. This one's about 3 girls making anime. They try to make an anime. They basically start off by making shorts and presenting them, trying to get a budget and all that kind of stuff. It's sort of light. It's not that yeah, it's just a light, offbeat, fun experience.
Slice of life?
Yeah, definitely slice of life. Not to mention, I love them when they daydream. Like, whenever the girl has like an idea or a daydream, you get pulled towards that world and see it in action.
So there are some fantasy elements to it, but they're just in their imagination.
Correct, and it's just fun. I also like it when they finally do present the finished product because the audience gets to see a little bit of the creative image and it kind of leaks out of the screen and I like this. It's entertaining, and that's it on my end.
Are the are their creations in the same art style as the characters themselves?
Correct. The style stays the same.
That's weird because you're watching an anime that's about people making an anime. And if both of those that you're seeing are the same, they look the same, then they themselves are anime.
It's yeah, it's a bit trippy.
Yeah, so that's it.
Yep, that's it for me.
All right. Well, I've finished Westworld season 1 and I watched the first episode of season 2. So the end of season 1, it's when shit picks up. You could tell that there's going to be a season 2. I don't know at the time if they already greenlit it for a season 2 before season 1 ended, but as someone who's watching it years after the fact, you could tell that it's not going to be the last season. And season 1, episode 1 of season 2, it didn't really grab me that much, but I'm still going to keep watching it just cuz I really like the premise of it. It gets quite existential, philosophical in the way that Ghost in the Shell does. Sometimes to the point where in Ghost of the Shell, the way that they create the main character is the way that they create whatever you call them. Well, you call them hosts. They're hosts to the amusement park. So I'll just call them that. The way that Makoto from Ghost in the Shell is made, it's the same as in Westworld. And I feel like that's a nod to Ghost in the Shell.
Hmm.
So it's this, you know how you get for tabletop games, you have figures that are just gray. and then you have to paint them yourselves.
Hmm.
That's how it looks. So the mold of the host will come out, will be made, and then they dip it in this white liquid, kind of giving it skin. And that's the same way that it works in Ghost in the Shell. Yeah, there's not really much I can say without spoiling it. Are you ever gonna watch it?
Not really.
So I'm gonna spoil it then.
Go for it.
Toward the end of season one, you find out that one of the protagonists, he's actually a host, and he's forced by the creator to kill someone that he cares about. So at the end of season one, the hosts go crazy and they start killing people. And then at the beginning of season two, the guy who found out that he was a host, so he didn't know he was a host. He wasn't hiding it as a secret. He just didn't know. And that's the philosophical part to it, because he starts questioning the memories that he was given, the fake memories he was given. He thinks that he's real the whole time, that he doesn't know that he's artificial. And in the beginning of season 2, some people from a separate company come over to try to figure out what's going on. And the guy who found out that he's a host, his name is Bernard. He's helping them, and he's hiding the fact that he is a host from everyone. Yeah. So I'm watching Westworld, and then I started rewatching Castlevania. I didn't finish it the first time, but I want to watch it. I already watched season one, but it's been a while since I watched it. So I watched season one, and then I watched 2 episodes of season two. Have you seen all of Castlevania?
I am up to date all the way, buddy.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember much of season two, but the last thing I saw was something about that woman vampire who kind of seems snarky. Do you remember her?
Carmelita.
I think so. I don't remember her name, but
But yeah, I know her.
it ends with her, episode 2, I think. And it's so interesting. I actually said out loud to myself, at the end of each episode, you can tell that an episode is about to end. And then when I could tell that it was going to end, I was just thinking, the way that these episodes are ending are not as good as Westworld. I know that they're completely different things, but one thing that they both have in common is that they have to end an episode. And I feel like Westworld just does it a lot better.
The way they finish off a story in an episode.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to describe other than the fact that it's more obvious that Castlevania is going to end than it is obvious that a Westworld episode is going to end. And when it's less obvious, I think that's a plus to a show because it's not predictable. Actually, now that I'm talking about it, I don't know what I want to do. I know I want to either play Animal Crossing or watch Westworld. It's just like I said before, each episode is an hour long, so it's a big time investment.
True, true, true.
Yep, so that's all I have. We talked about the new publishing deal with Epic Games and these 3 big name studios. And then we talked about the surprise Nintendo mini direct. What were you most interested in the direct?
That would be good job.
Okay. For me, it's Bravely Default 2, which is weird because I'm not usually into JRPGs. And then Shinsekai, and then in Clubhouse games. Do you have anything you're planning on reading or watching?
Well, I've been like saving a lot of anime, wanting them to like finish so I can binge on them. I think I got 2 anime on the works.
How long are you gonna have to wait?
No, I don't have to wait anymore. They're all done. So I can't wait to watch those tomorrow or the day after. I mean, Skyrim is still gonna take up a crap ton of my time.
What's the anime called?
Dorohedro, Dorohedoro. It's a my friend recommended it to me, but I was also interested. It's a crazy anime about
A lizard?
yeah. He said it was funny, and it was,
Oh, it's gory.
yeah, gory crazy. The other one is Somali to Tomori no Kamasama. I think this one's gonna be a tearjerker. Uh, in a world where humans are almost extinct, a non-human, golem finds a human child and tries to hide her from the world and going on an adventure in this world. I'm interested in the world, and I'm interested in, I don't know, it just seems intriguing and not to mention a little bit emotional.
Yeah, I'm interested in that Doro Hedoro. All right, so that's all we have for episode 10 of Peer Inward. You got your plans for binge watching anime. I don't know what I'm gonna do after this. I'm definitely not gonna edit. I spent fucking 2 hours talking. I'm not gonna spend 2 hours listening. Well, actually 4 hours listening because I'm also listening to you right now.
Yep.
Okay, well, anyone who's listening, thank you for doing so. My name is John Suno, and thanks, Derek, for joining me again, like usual.
Mhm.
Have a good night, a good day, or a good morning, wherever you are. Don't touch your face.
Yeah, face no, no. Don't touch other people's faces either.
Don't suck ghost dick.